Hello everyone and welcome. This is David A. Cox with Tech Talk American. Today we're doing a little product review for all of you. Recently on our Facebook page, I asked all of you to share with us what kind of products you wanted us to cover in preparation for the holiday season, since we are right now on the heels of Thanksgiving and Christmas. And one of the big responses that we heard from all of you was printers. So today I'm going to be showing you one of my favorite printers and share with you the reasons why. This printer is not for big businesses. It's not for anyone who wants to print photos at home, which I don't recommend doing in the first place. Better off just throwing it on a flash drive and go to CVS or your other drug store that you may have locally. But it is a great printer for any of you out there who are just kind of an average consumer. You just need something to print so that when you can print, you can. This is not an expensive printer. It's actually really inexpensive. It's $59. Sometimes you actually see the price drop to as low as $49. So this is the Canon MX492. It's been out for a couple of years now, but it's still a great printer in my book, and I've set it up many times for my clients. So let's go over some of the features here. First one, let's talk about the good one, the really great one, price. Okay, not only is it a really inexpensive printer, the ink is really inexpensive. These days, a lot of times when you go out to a big box store and you're looking at their selection of printers, a lot of those have 5 cartridges. That means you've got to refill 5 cartridges. That means 5 times the ink cost. With this, there's only 2. And those ink cartridges are really inexpensive, and the price difference between the generic stuff and the legit stuff is only about $2 to $3. So I'll put links to all of that, of course, below in the description of the video, as well as the link to the printer itself. Another feature that I love about it is that it has AirPrint. So if any of you out there want to print from your iPhone or your iPad ever, you can. Of course, you can also print wirelessly from your computer, whether you have a Mac or a PC. Now, for those of you who are Mac owners, I've mentioned this before, but it's worth repeating. With pretty much every printer these days that you buy, they always give you software, their own software to do scanning and stuff like that. Don't use it, okay? In your Mac, comes with it, there's an application called Image Capture. If you're having trouble finding it, just go into Finder. From there, you're going to go into the Applications folder, scroll all the way to the bottom of the list, and you'll see there's a folder called Utilities, and it's right inside there. You might even want to consider putting that icon on your dock, just so that way you have an easy reference to it. But this thing does scan and copy. It's not fast, but if you're okay with waiting, couple of seconds for it to do a scan, it's fine. One other trick I want to give for all of you, regardless of whether or not you buy this, for those of you who didn't know, if you're going to be scanning and it's a large document, it is going to do it much faster if it's on a hard line connection as opposed to wireless. There is also a fax for the 5 of you out there who still fax. Just so much easier to scan it into an email, people. Really, there's no need for a fax these days. And the setup process is pretty simple. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to describe how to get this set up for wireless verbally for those of you who are not using an Airport Extreme, an Airport Express, or a Time Capsule. Okay, if you're on a different router, this should get you all squared away. For those people who do have an Airport Express, Airport Extreme, or Time Capsule, hang tight. So if you're on any of those other kinds of routers out there, including a lot of the routers that are also part of the cable modem, that would be probably provided to you by your ISP. On the top of those devices, usually the top, sometimes it's the back, you're going to look for a little button called WPS, okay? And basically, the way that you connect these all together is the first thing you do is you set it up from the printer itself. Then you go to your router, then your computer. So let's go through it. So from the main menu, what you're going to do is you're going to click on this little icon that looks like Tools. From here, we're going to hit OK. We're going to press the right arrow once, and then hit OK again. Now from this point, you're going to want to pick up on the Mac side and not hit the OK button until you're just about ready to connect the two together. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go up here to the top right corner of your Mac and click on this little spyglass icon that's called Spotlight. And you're going to type in the word Airport. Airport Utilities should pop up right up there at the top. From here, you're going to click on your router, and you're going to need to enter in the password for that router. So I'm going to type mine in right there.
And now with it still highlighted, so you should see all the devices that are connected to it, we're going to go to the very top where it says base station and go to add WPS printer. Obviously, this is when you're going to want to set it all up on the printer end. We're going to go to first attempt and hit continue. At this point, the two are going to find each other, okay, and we're going to allow them to do that right now. Great, so we got that. So now we're going to hit done, and there is one other step that we still have to do to make the computer remember the printer. So we're going to close that out. And at this point, we're going to go to System Preferences. So we're going to go to the Apple icon, System Preferences. From here, we're going to go into Printers and Scanners. You see it there on the second row. Click on it. If you see the lock icon at the bottom left, you need to unlock it. So click on it, type in your admin password, and hit OK. Now we're going to hit that little plus symbol and check it out. It already found it. So now we just have to click on it. It's going to automatically go and download all of the additional drivers. You can see it happened pretty darn quickly there. And now we can close it out. At this point, we're ready to scan. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into an app called Image Capture. So you can go here into your Applications folder. And right here under I, here it is, Image Capture. And we are going to double click on it. Now let me set this up so that it looks like it will for many of you. So it should probably look something like this. See, it says shared. If you see that, hit show and click on the printer. You can see I actually have two printers. Okay, and now let me set this up real quickly just so that it looks, once again, like what a lot of you are going to see. So this is what it's going to look like for a lot of you. My advice is hit that button that says show details, okay, and it should remember that for the future. So this is just the much better way to scan everything. You really don't need that software that comes with it. So right now it's doing an overview scan. I just grabbed a box for a product that we're about to review, threw it in the scanner, so ignore the content. Let's go over what it says here on the right. First part, scan mode. So flatbed and document feeder, okay? So make sure you have your documents in the feeder if you're going to be doing that. This allows you, of course, to combine multiple documents, multiple pages into one document. Choose what kind you want, text, black and white, or color. Resolution, usually I tend to keep mine right around 150. That's what I tend to do at least. The key thing I would like to recommend that you do here, I would check where it says use custom size and make sure that auto selection is turned off. I find that can be more of a pain in the butt than a helpful feature. Now you can click and drag over the screen and tell it what part you want to scan. And if you need to make any refinement corrections, you can use these blue dots and kind of crop it. You can even rotate it like so. Okay, if you want to, if it's a little bit off. Okay. I want to go over, you can tell it where to scan to. This is really helpful. So you can, by default, it scans to the Pictures folder. I would not do that, okay? You can either scan directly to the Photos application or Mail. So a lot of times you're going to be scanning documents or photos. That just makes it easier. For now, we're going to do Desktop. You can name the document, or of course you can do that later. You can pick your format, JPEG or PDF are going to be the most common two options here. PDF if it's a document, otherwise JPEG. Everything else here you can see is optional. I usually don't tend to use any of these. Reduced dust can definitely be a good one if it's especially an older photo. And when you're done, click Scan, and it's going to just kind of go over the image once again. Takes just a second, and because we told it to place this image on the desktop, that's where it's going to go. I find I get a lot of questions from people. They say, where did it scan to? Just remember, the default location is the Pictures folder, which I don't know anyone who actually really uses that. So there it is. The document is there on the desktop, just like that.
So there you have it. One last thing, if you do decide to buy the printer, we really do greatly appreciate it if you happen to use our hyperlink, which you will find in the description of this video. We are Amazon Associates. It's how we're able to create free content for all of you. So if you do click that link, we do get a small commission, but you're paying the same price. So it's kind of a win-win for everyone. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can click that little graphic icon next to me on whichever side we decide to put it on me. And we will see you next time. That's all, everyone. Take care.